Shalom, shalom, brother Kadash. We'll start off by giving all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to all the brothers in his truth.
Tonight, Kentucky is under a state of emergency as floodwaters continue to rise. Parts of the state got more than 6 inches of rain in 48 hours, and now streams and rivers are overflowing into neighborhoods. The National Guard is helping to rescue people from flooded homes and streets. Tennessee and West Virginia are also dealing with widespread floods.
This is the very beginning of these sorrows. This is the very beginning of the Lord's judgment. The Lord starting to visit the earth. Second Esdras chapter 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Which is what we've been doing. We've been prophesying of this time to come. We've been telling you, that's how we know it's the end days. We measured the time diligently. It says, and when thou seest part of the sign pass, which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So some of the, just like you could look up earthquakes right now in diverse places. You got earthquakes going on all in California, down there by Yellowstone, and it's raising an alert, it's alerting to the people, that's studying that field and stuff like that. And then when you look at uproars of the people last year in 2020, we've been seeing, every city with the George Floyd death was pretty much on fire. There was riots, uproars of the people, and it's still going on. We seen the whole thing that just happened with Texas and their power grid and people being left without power and in freezing temperatures. Now you seeing this with Kentucky flooding. All these things is happening for a reason. We hearing wars and rumors of wars over there with Iraq just did an airstrike attack on the U.S. base in Iraq. Iran did it. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was Iran that did it. Israeli, they bombing Iran targets in Syria. America bombing Iran targets in Syria. So we seeing these things, and one of the biggest things that we're seeing is the mark of the beast. With the whole, which is the micro implant chip, could be nanobots, but it's the same technology. But we're starting to see it with these different tracking devices that they're coming out with. So we seeing these things and we're understanding what time we in. We understanding that we're in the end. It says, verse 5, for like as all that is made in the world has a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, right? Even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonders and powerful works, and ending and effects and signs. Everything has a beginning and an end. So America, which is Mystery Babylon, is coming to its end, but this whole system, this whole beast system is coming to an end. It says, everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith where be ye have believed, which that goes into the elect that's going to be saved, because those are the ones that follow the Lord and actually believe. Hopefully we be a part of that number. This is Matthew chapter 24. I'll start at verse 6. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Because the actual end is when Yahweh shall actually come back. But we know what time we in because we measuring the time diligently, just like Second Esdras chapter 9. But it says, for nation shall rise against nation, right? It says, and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines. With these disasters like this, it caused famines. It caused look at the whole thing that happened in Texas. A lot of people couldn't get food and stuff like that. It caused famines and pesticides. I mean, we in a pandemic right now, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. So those are the beginning of sorrows, and there's more that has to come like this. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and ye should be hated of all nations for my name's sake. We seen that happen. And then shall many be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive. Many stumbling blocks are out there. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So that's the times that we're getting into, is that love is going to start wax cold as it started to get harder and harder for people. Like I know in my city personally, it's a shooting, and this is like never before. I grew up in the city, so I kind of know the trends of it. But there's a lot more shootings that's happening. It's just the spirit that the Lord putting out there. People getting crazy. It was just a crazy car accident. I think it had 25 people in there, and 13 people died. That's just the spirit of destruction is coming down on this place. Judgment. People are starting to get judged. Verse 13, it says, "But he that should endure to the end, the same should be saved," which goes back into 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Those who believe and have faith should be saved. So you got to endure to the end with that, with that faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith, man. Here, let me find this one real quick. If I can. Nope, it's not right there. So Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, it says, "I will stand upon my watch," just like you measuring the time diligently. You kind of watching, you a watchman, "and set me upon a tower, and I will watch to see what he was saying to me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, Write the vision and make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it." Exactly. So we reading it. It was made plain to us by the way of the Holy Spirit, and then we going out there, we prophesying the same things, and we making it plain and breaking it down to the people. That's why I keep stopping to break it down to you, because I'm making it plain to you, trying to explain to you what's going on and why all this stuff is happening. Verse 3, it says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, just like the mark of the beast. But at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, and it will not tarry," meaning that it seems like it's tarrying, but it's not, because a lot of things are being set in place. A lot of things are being set in place, so when it all comes down, it's going to come down fast. So it's not tarrying. It's going to surely come, the end, the destruction, the salvation for the elect, the kingdom. It says the mark of the beast, that's coming. It says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith." So there you go again, ending it off with what? The just enduring to the end and living by faith and believing. Those are being the ones that's being saved. You see the trend here? So here, let me leave you off with this one. Isaiah chapter 13. Let me start at verse 6. It says, "How ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It should come as a destruction from the Almighty." That's where we're at. We're at the day of the Lord that is at hand, and we're seeing all this destruction. That's why you're seeing these things happen week after week. Every time you wake up, it's something new to happen, just like it was in 2020. But 2021 gonna be even worse, and it's just starting. It says, "Therefore shall all hands be faint." All hands, right? Every man heart shall melt, because all the destruction that's coming, "and they shall be afraid. Pains and sorrows should take hold of them." Now remember, in Matthew chapter 24, it says this is the beginning of sorrows. It says, "They should be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They should be amazed one at another. Their faces should be as flames." Right. And then remember, in Matthew 24, once again, it says the love, the love should wax cold, meaning that, people should betray people and all that stuff. Exactly. That's what it's talking about. It says, "Behold, the day of the Lord cometh cruel, with wrath and fierce anger." You see in the wrath, stuff like this, these natural events, which is being caused by the Lord. It says, "To lay the land desolate." See, when you see what you're on the screen, when it's a flooding like that, all that stuff is becoming desolate. It says, like he said, some of the highways are starting to erode and stuff like that because of the water being so high. That's desolate. And this is only the beginning. It says, "And he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it." So you seen these different people get took out. Weird stuff like 25 people in a car and they get in an accident, 13 dead. They get took out. It says, "And he should destroy the sinners thereof out of it." Because whoever perished being innocent, so, and nobody. So that's a rhetorical question. So a lot of different people are kind of going out in weird ways, and you can't really explain, like, dang, how did that happen? That's the Lord bringing that judgment down. It says, "For the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof should not give their light. The sun should be darkened in his going forth, and the moon should not cause her light to shine. and I will punish the world. Which I heard that one before. It meant like the understanding, the knowledge of this world, it's being diminished. They ain't having no answers of what to do to stop this destruction, because they can't stop the destruction. Who could save you out the Lord's hand? Nobody. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil. So that's what's happening. That punishment is coming on the world right now. Um, and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Right. So that's what's happening. You see people getting judged, you kind of feel sad for them, but then you kind of got to remember that whoever perished being innocent. So that's the judgment that the Lord is bringing down on them. They gonna play, they gonna cry and act like they was just holy, and what did they do to deserve this? But we know that that's the punishment that's coming down on this place. It says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedges of Ophir. You read about that in second address. It's either 15, no, actually I think it's 16, but it's pretty much a man gonna be more precious than fine gold, because that's how many it's gonna be. Ain't gonna be that many man left, because the destruction that's coming down, man gonna be getting took out. And it gives you different reasons. The second address, I might get it. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out her place. How are you gonna do that? That's with those nuclear weapons, those nuclear bombs, which you go back to verse 10, and the stars in the heavens not in giving its light, the sun being darkened, and the moon not being a shine. That's going to also happen physically when those nuclear weapons start to hit different parts of the earth, and those mushroom clouds go up, and all that debris and stuff goes up and contaminate the skies and all that stuff, and it's going to block out the moon and the sun. It says in the wrath of the Lord of hosts, and in the day of his fierce anger, and it should be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They, every man should turn to his own people, and flee everyone to his own land. That people gonna scatter like roaches. Chinese gonna want to run back to China. The Arabian, they gonna want to run back to Saudi Arabia. Everybody gonna flee back to their own people. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrusted through, and everyone that is joined into them shall fall by the sword. Who is the them? It's the wicked. Who is the wicked? That's Esau Edom, pursuant to Malachi chapter 1. Of Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. If you join into them, because the Lord, they gonna get it the worst. If you join into them, you gonna be destroyed by the sword. But really, anybody that's on the Lord list to be destroyed, if you join into them, you gonna get caught up in it. It says, their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses should be spoiled, and their wives ravished. So this is the times and the things that you're gonna start to see. So we got to get ready for it. But I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to say salvation to the elect. Shalom.